Good afternoon. I'm Matthew Schock, third grade teacher at Bicentennial South and the Glendale Education Association president.
Hi, my name is Andrea Arellano. I am the Director for Social Emotional Learning and Mental Health Services.
And we have the pleasure of sharing the Meet and Confer recommendations for this school year with you today.
We'll begin with sharing who was on the committee, beginning with Debbie Valadez, Gina Schmitz, Jessica Peck, Kathy Bohr, Greg Gilliam, Lisa Sifford, Jeff Peters, Jerry Peterson in Corvia, Rachel Flores, Samantha Moyer, Matthew Schock, and myself, Andrea Arellano.
The elements of an interest-based problem solving are what we use to go through the process for Meet and Confer this year.
The purpose of Meet and Confer is to improve matters of mutual interest, focusing on employee compensation, fringe benefits, and working conditions. Our cultural commitments include create a culture in which staff demonstrate personal accountability and ownership for the welfare of our students and staff. It is our collective responsibility to effectively communicate and take personal responsibility for communication. And lastly, work-life balance is an important consideration as we work together to meet the needs of students.
Thank you. Our first recommendation is in the area of compensation. We agreed to increase pay for performance $500 each year for one more year and to revisit next year. We're going to ID how many people completed performance pay in August and keep our eyes on the reserves. All certified and classified employees receive a 5% base increase with the understanding that Meet and Confer would reconvene if the 5% cannot be funded. If funding exists, after the 5% increase, the base salary for new teachers would be raised up to $40,000. Teachers who started the previous year would get either the $40,000 base or the 5% increase, whichever is greater. And we're going to develop a policy/procedure to compensate teachers who provide coverage for at least 51% of the day when a scheduled substitute does not fill. Teachers would split $100 among those who covered a class. This is contingent upon the sub-rate increase. And our last one is campus monitors and EAs would have the option of coming in for an extra paid training the week before students arrive to receive training on student discipline, new duty schedules, new school procedures, and meet new staff. This would be paid out of the site M&O.
Thank you, Matt. Now we're going to focus on the topic of benefits. There will be we're recommending a $500 initial pay for HSA with $850 additional after completing the wellness exam. The PPO will be reopened to current and new employees. And the last recommendation, PPO and HSA out-of-pocket cost will match.
The next area that we worked on was professional development. We agreed to administration preparing and sharing a quarterly PD plan and communicate to their staff, ensure individuals and team reflection time to accommodate differing learning styles, and PD before end of the day so participants can process and prepare in alignment with last year. Recurring information regarding extra paid PD opportunities in the GESD Weekly, survey that asks about PD beyond content PD. Classified coordinator creates a classified training plan with appropriate departments and implement trauma-informed professional development district-wide.
Thanks, Matt. Next topic is work hours. The first recommendation, research the implementation of social emotional learning time, for instance, within the master schedule. Seek to modify data day time to allow for parent conferences to take place during the Wednesday through Friday timeframe, which may mean modifying the assessment windows. Next, generally, the third Tuesday of each month is scheduled as a protected day where meetings should not be scheduled. Next year, communicate this as a practice, but retain flexibility if an unusual situation occurs. Paid positions such as tutoring, coaching, etc. are not affected by this practice. Lastly, administrators identify committees in advance and communicate to employees before the start of a new school year.
Thank you, Andrea.
You're welcome.
Our next one is student behavior. We agreed to simplify the district-wide referral forms. This is a process of finalization and progress to be updated in the GESD weekly, and then report progress of grant funding behaviors for social emotional needs of our students.
All right, our next topic is class size. We recommend during planned monthly meetings beginning in August, members of the Meet and Confer team will develop an incremental plan to evaluate and address class size and class size standards with the goal of lowering class size.
Thank you, Andrea.
You're welcome.
And the last one is resources. So we agreed to create a list of available basic supplies standardized across the district by site administration secretary for people to know what they can ask for, communicate the availability of surplus and supplies with the schoolhouse room, create a workable system of access to supplies on demand that is clearly communicated for accountability, make order forms available for May and December online if possible, and include any other options such as for office supplies.
All right, that concludes all the topics. Let's talk about voting because your vote counts. This coming Friday, March 13th, you will receive an email with a link to cast your vote. You may only vote one time. This window will remain open until Monday, March 23rd. This concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for your time.
Have a wonderful afternoon and enjoy spring break.